Hello everyone, I'm here today with a new process video. As you can see, I've got a 2-pager this time. I feel like I've been doing a lot of single pages lately. This one's a 2-pager. These are pictures from Alcatraz from when I was in San Francisco, and I've got a full 4x8 photo on the left, standard pics on the right, and I don't know what exactly I'm going to do here. Well, that's not true. I have one idea. So this central hallway here of cells, they call this Broadway, or did when the prison was active. And then you can see that at the intersection where a bunch of hallways like meet and then you go into the dining room, they called that Times Square. So Broadway and Times Square. And I know I have some phrase strips that say Broadway. It's theater based, but it still applies. So I know I can go in there and find one of those and at least put it up here or down here somewhere. But then I need to put something else with it, and since this is a prison, I'm not exactly sure what that's going to be, but at least I have the starting point that I can find something that says Broadway, I guess. And then I can't decide, it'll probably be red. I think I was trying to decide what color I wanted to use to offset this. I almost feel like red might be too dark, like it might bring it down, but then my only other choice really is like yellow or gray, and that feels boring. So I have to find a card that says something, and I think I would like just a phrase. I don't need to journal, but just a phrase maybe. Or maybe I would journal a little bit saying like they called this Broadway. Oh, I just had an idea. Okay, so I can get the phrase strip that says Broadway and I can use a label, like a larger one maybe, and just write in there like the prisoners or the guards or the people that occupied Alcatraz called it Broadway or something like that. There, good. At least I have that somewhat figured out. But I still need a card for right here, and I'm thinking red. I have grabbed out my bag of stuff that is theater related, so I'm going to look in there. If I don't have something that says Broadway in there, I think I do, but even if I didn't, I know that in my New York stuff, I either have stickers in a couple of places, plus then I have digital strips that I can do that say Broadway, so one or the other. Either way, I will find them. So in that bag of stuff, I found 2 things for Broadway. I have this one, which is kind of interesting because it's in red, which I wanted, and it would definitely show up here, especially if I did like a black background or something, it would show up. I would just cut off the part that says Broadway, but I'm not sure how I feel about the fact that it's supposed to look like it's in lights, sort of. So I don't know, is that the right kind of message I want to send? I mean, I don't know, but it says it. And then I have this one. So you can kind of tell these are all from the same set. So this one was more what I was thinking, just plain black, like nothing flashy about it. And it shows up nicely by itself. Like I wouldn't have to do anything else behind it. I could still layer some things with it, but I wouldn't have to put another piece of paper behind it for it to pop out. So it's probably going to end up being this one, I'm pretty sure. And black goes with everything. And I've got some over here. So, you know, it all works. So I do have that then. I haven't done anything with the card, so still have that problem, but I'll get to it. Since I've decided I'm using this, now I have to decide which label I want to kind of be overlapped with it. And I could do the yellow to match over here, or I can do red to match here and here. And I can see already I have a couple big ones in there, like this honking red one here might be a nice option, because like I could use that to journal and I could overlap like this or something, you know, I'll figure it out. The only thing I just noticed though is like my card is here. Don't know that I want that right next to this. And this has more dead space up here. Like I don't lose anything if I cover that up. This I kind of all want to be visible, so it's going to have to be up top here. So do I just move this like that? I don't want this because then these are next to each other. I don't like that. Then the black is all centered here. Although, maybe I could find a black and white card and use red and yellow embellishments on it, and then it won't matter because I'll have black kind of represented everywhere. Maybe that's the way to go. For the possible tags over here or labels, I've also picked out these two. These are pretty pretty big. I have this one as well, but I almost feel like that's a little bit too orangey. I feel like it's too dark. I like this color better. So I'm pulling those, and I wonder if there's some way like I could double up and have one of each, if I could like space my journaling out enough and make it work, or even stamp or something. But somehow I will pull that all together where I'll have my Broadway, I'll have my label so I can journal, and I think it'll come out well once I figure it out. All right, I've decided I am going to layer. I'm going to use these two labels, and then this will kind of be up top. And I decided to definitely go for it because I did a quick just Google search, and I just did like Alcatraz prison Broadway, and I found some info just about like, oh yeah, it's the intersection where prisoners would pass from this place to these other places, whatever. I can write that out as my journaling, and I like that idea, so I am going to double up on that. I probably will do my journaling off camera and just come back when it's done, because otherwise that may take a little bit too long. All right, I got my journaling done, so you can see all of that there. I layered them the way I want them, and now I just have to put on the Broadway up top. And I ended up with this little chunk left from the yellow one, and my hope is that I can use that somewhere else because it's big enough, or even as a tab to flip up somewhere. I like to save those pieces because you just never know when you might use them. I want to place this a little bit off center because I don't want it to line up directly with this red label. I like that these are all staggered, so let's see how that looks. Yeah, I like that. Now I do have enough room there to put in a staple. Do I want one? Let's think about this. You know, whatever card I pick, if I find a black and white one, I might be able to put this on it somehow and staple it. So you know what, I think I'm going to just give it one as part of the yellow label there. There we go. Well, I like the look of it too. It just adds a little something. All right, so good. Now that side's probably done. Don't know that I need to do anything else over there, but now I need to find my card. And I found the card I want to use, but while I was looking at everything, I moved the pictures again. I realized, oh, if I've got this up top, I need to have something else on the bottom rather than stacking everything up top. So I have this. Here's the card, but I need to cover this up where it says, love this vibe. No, we don't love this vibe, but I like the taking it all in. So I've got to find something, either a piece of ephemera that's round, a sticker, but like it has to be pretty heavy where you can't see through it, obviously. Like I need something to cover that up because I don't like that, obviously. So I have to go into my stash. Now I could also just punch like a piece of cardstock over it and cover that up and like build something. I do have circle punches in various sizes, so I could do that, but I would rather find something ready-made if I could. I did try to find some ephemera pieces, but nothing was quite the right size. I even tried this and it was too big, but it gave me the idea of using a geotag, and I thought, okay, I know I have these. So I haven't tried it size-wise yet, but by eyeballing it, it seems like it will fit. So I would go, I want red, right? That would probably pop out the best. Yeah, because there's already yellow there. I think red would be better. So let's just see. Haha, perfect size. And I think like a little bit of the black will show around the outside, maybe. And I want to press it down just in case I need to move it. Oh, it's perfect. Now I'll press it down. There. Awesome. Love that. This down here is fine. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do with these two lines down there. Would it be weird to put like a piece of yellow ephemera here? Maybe I could find something like to bring that all together. Maybe I could. I'm going to pull those out next and see. In my yellow pieces, I think I found something, and it's quite unexpected. It's actually a 2x2 pocket card is what it's supposed to be used for, but I might just use it like as a visual element and do that. It even has red writing on it. So with a red font, I feel like that works out pretty well. And then I don't have to journal anything. It'll just be like that. I may find something to cover up this because I have little rhinestone stars, and I wouldn't just do a circle. I think that's kind of boring, but I don't know, maybe. But I could end up leaving it as is, but I just thought this adds some of that nice yellow to the card. And then oh, yep, this one's a goner, hang on. But anyway, then I can add that on there, and it makes a much more visually interesting card by doing that. So I'm glad I came across it. Did I just get something on it? Dang it, I cannot be trusted. I did. I have a little eraser thing. I'll try to get that off of there. But anyway, it's going to go right like this. I like it. So I think for this card, I want to have kind of a visual triangle. So I'll have here, here, and here. But I don't want to cover up this little part. It's hard to see on camera, I'm sure, but it actually says dining hall right there. So I like that you can see that underneath this. I don't want to cover that up, but I can take this little extra piece that I had and just put it at the bottom as just visual interest. That's all it is. It doesn't really serve a purpose other than to bring in color. That will cooperate. There we go. And then I'm gonna have to cut off a little bit because I noticed when I cut it over here, I did not cut this entirely straight. So I need to position it on the photo, and then I will cut off the extra and just make sure it's straight. I don't think that's totally centered. It needs to go a little to the right, maybe. Does that look kind of in the middle? I think so. When I do that, it looks like it's pretty straight. So I'm going to cut and hope that that's the right choice. Let's look once that's removed. I think that's good. And then I'll just put in my staple right here, and then this one's probably done. So let's put it in the pocket and see what I think. How does it look? Yep, you know what? I don't think this one needs anything else. Well, good. Here's another one finished for San Francisco. Thanks for watching.